Okay, folks, what we're going to do here now, we're going to come down to really what life is all about, why you're doing A Course in Miracles. And it is inevitable that you're going to be waking up. Okay? So free choice and free will comes into play. The question that you have to answer to yourself, and the sooner that you answer this question, okay, is the sooner you're going to waken up. So the question is this: when am I going to waken up? You are going to waken up. That's inevitable.
Am I not already awake?
Okay? You are, but you haven't realized it. Your higher self is awake. But you're so connected to your separated self that you're not aware that you are awake, because your separated self is unconscious. That's the part that's asleep.
Me and my separated self, or my higher self, have a deal.
Right. Well, as long as you stay, right, loyal to your separated self, then you're staying loyal to being asleep. When you let go of the separated self, then you begin to waken up. So the only question is, right, is when are you going to waken up? So I'm going to go through 12 attributes here, and in these 12, this is everything that you need to apply to waking up either now or later. So what I have written here is wake up. There is no right or wrong. There is only now or later. Okay? So what this means is, if you see someone and you think that they're doing this course wrong, they're not doing this course wrong. That person is just not ready to waken up now. They're going to waken up later. So being mindful is accepting the truth now. Being mindless is accepting the truth later. Okay? So what we're doing is we're awakening through mindfulness. And this basically is advanced mindfulness, which will tell you that everything you need to do and apply to waking up either now or later. So you are always making the decision every day whether you're going to waken up now or later. It's not that you're doing the course right or wrong. Okay? There is no story of right and wrong. Don't buy into that story. There's only now or later. So, the first step, okay, in this process is to be open-minded. Okay? There's no right and wrong in being open-minded. There is only now or later. It is not wrong to be closed-minded. What you are really saying is that you're not ready to waken up now, but you will later. Being open-minded says, I want to waken up now. So remember, the advanced teacher of God, the 10th characteristic is open-mindedness. So if you really want to do A Course in Miracles, if you really want to waken up into oneness, you must move your mind, shift your mind from being limited to being unlimited, from being closed to being open. Okay? The truly open-minded allow no belief that anyone else holds separate you from that person. You get that?
Could you say that again, please?
It means that if I'm in this room and you hold a belief, Michael holds a belief, Maria holds a belief, and all your beliefs are separate, and basically I don't let any of your beliefs separate any of you from me. Okay? It's kind of like be all things to all people. Let's say that I'm a Buddhist. Okay? What I'm doing now, I'm separating myself from every other religious organization. Okay? I'm saying, you know, I'm a Buddhist and you might be a Catholic, somebody else might be a Protestant, someone else might be Muslim, somebody else might be this. As long as I'm holding an identity that singles me out to be separate from everybody else, I'm closed-minded. I'm not ready to waken up now. There's nothing wrong with me being a Buddhist or anybody else being a Muslim or any. This is the whole point what I'm saying here. There's nothing wrong with this. It's just all comes down to, do I want to waken up now or do I want to waken up later? If I want to waken up now, I must let all personal identities go. And that means now that I see everybody, no matter what belief that they hold, I see them as a part of myself. It's transcending all beliefs. Now there's no point in me turning around and saying, I want to waken up, if I can't do this first. Because this is going to be a big block to me waking up. Because remember, I'm waking up from the separated self into oneness. And oneness includes everybody. It just doesn't include all Buddhists. All right? It includes all Buddhists, all Jews, all Christians, all Muslims, all heathens, everybody.
So does it mean inclusive, say, of the shadow, which, say someone's murderer or
Yes,
rapist
everything.
or whatever, everything?
Everything.
That you have to be able to transcend.
It means that no matter what anybody does in this world, that you don't see that person separate from yourself.
Is that what it means when it says you see the face of Christ in everybody?
Yes. You can't see it only in certain people. It's
Yes,
either everybody or nobody. You must see, and at this stage, you're not going to see the face of Christ. Okay? But at this stage, when all is required from you is willingness. All right? If you're not willing to join unconditionally with everybody else, then basically what you're really saying is, I'm not ready to waken up now. So go to the pub and have a couple of drinks and do whatever you want to do. What you're really saying is, I want to waken up later. So everybody coming to the course, everybody is on a spiritual path to awaken. This is the first question that they must ask themselves and answer. And you have to be totally honest with yourself. Okay? So that's number one. Number two. Okay? This is what is required to waken up. The next thing is forgiveness. Okay? There is no right or wrong in forgiving or not forgiving. There is only now or later. It is not wrong to not forgive. That's very important. When you say, I cannot forgive, what you're saying is, I'm not ready to waken up now. I will waken up later. Forgiveness says, I want to waken up now. When I apply advanced true forgiveness, I undo my projections. This is me being mindful. I will awaken. When I apply complete forgiveness, I undo my emotional pain body. This is me being mindful. I will awaken. When I apply simple forgiveness, I undo judgment. This is me being mindful. Okay? So what this is really saying is forgiveness is going to undo the separated self that I hold so dear. It's going to undo my projections of my shadow and my persona. Okay?
Sorry, Michael. When I apply complete forgiveness.
I undo my emotional pain
yes.
body. Okay?
Emotional what?
Emotional pain body. Pain body.
All right, yes, sorry.
Pain in my body.
Yes,
The emotional trauma. So, what you're really saying here is, right, if I'm not applying forgiveness every day, what you're saying is, I am not willing to waken up now, I will waken up later. If I am applying forgiveness every single day, okay, then I am saying, I want to waken up now. What you ask for will be received. Okay? Step 3. Honesty. while you have now made the decision to forgive, this step is paramount in that forgiveness. There is no right and wrong in being honest or dishonest. There is only now or later. It is not wrong to be dishonest. What you're really saying is you're not ready to waken up now, but you will later. Honesty says that I want to waken up now. So, what is honesty? Honesty with what? What do you need to be honest with?
Yourself.
You need to be honest in what you see. It means you must be honest with your projections. Okay? If I see the error in you, and I don't recognize that the error I see in you is the error I haven't forgiven in myself, I'm being dishonest. Forgiveness and honesty are identical. Okay? You can't apply forgiveness and be dishonest. Because when I see the error in you and I see it as your error, I'm being dishonest. I'm saying, I don't want to waken up now. I'll waken up later. And that's okay. But this is about, if you want to waken up now, this is the application of A Course in Miracles that we all must undertake. So honesty means that I be honest, right, with my projections. Everything I see in you is what I haven't forgiven in myself. Honesty also must come now to my emotions. Okay? When I'm feeling hurt, my first reaction through my ego is to blame somebody else. That's being dishonest. Being honesty is I use complete forgiveness now to undo the self-hurt, because I realize that no one else can hurt me. All hurt is inside me. Other people will show me the hurt that is inside me. And all hurt is coming from my belief in separation. Now, when I use complete forgiveness, I'm being honest. Because I'm blaming no one now external to me. That's me being honest. When I'm undoing my projections, I'm being honest. When I look and I see judgments, I use simple forgiveness. Simple forgiveness undoes our judgments. I'm being honest. So that's where the honesty comes in A Course in Miracles. I must be honest with myself through forgiveness. If I'm not being honest in my forgiveness lessons, it's not wrong. I'm just saying I'm not ready to waken up now. Okay? The next one, step 4. Responsibility. Okay? There is no right and wrong in taking responsibility or not taking responsibility. There is no now or later. Okay? When I take responsibility, I'm saying I want to waken up now. When I don't take responsibility, I'm saying I will waken up later. That's okay. Be aware that this is the choices that you're making. Why? When I don't take responsibility for every emotion that I have, I play the victim. Okay? It's either one or the other. If I take responsibility for everything in my life, for every emotion that I have, for every projection that I see, I cannot be a victim. And the ego loves the victim. So you're either playing the victim or you're taking responsibility. You cannot waken up without taking responsibility for everything. Everything you see, everything you experience, everything you feel, you must take responsibility for it if you want to wake it up now. Okay? Any questions? Are we happy? Yeah? We're all doing all of these, yeah? Okay, the next one. Remember these, if you want to wake it up now, This is not complicated. You know, this is not rocket science. You know, it's a state of mind. Every one of these is a state of mind. When you waken up, being awakened is a state of mind. Being asleep is a state of mind.
Can I ask a question, Michael?
Yep.
Just in terms of this. Say in a sort of situation, say at work, where you're getting the blame for something that you didn't, that you're not, I suppose, that you didn't do, or that you think you didn't do. I mean, the point is not whether you did it or you didn't do it. But the thing is, what I'm wondering is what you do.
The one thing that you should be doing in all cases, right? You have to be honest
Yeah,
with how you feel.
yeah.
You have to be honest with what you see.
Yeah.
Okay? You have to be honest and apply forgiveness. Because it's all lessons for us.
Oh, yeah.
It's not about who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
You're undoing the part of yourself. Okay? The right and the wrong aspects are the shadow and the persona. Okay? When you want to be right, you're saying, I want to be my persona. When you're saying this other person's wrong, what you're saying is that person is your shadow and you're trying to put your own self-hate, everything that's wrong about yourself, you're projecting it onto that person. So you can get into the story of right and wrong, persona, shadow. That's not what this is about. That's the distraction. This is what I keep saying to people, right? The story is smoke and mirrors. It's a distraction. The only thing you should be concerned about and be honest with is, what does this make me feel? What did I see here?
Yeah. Just something.
Do I want to waken up now, or do I want to waken up later? That's the main point of what we're doing here.
Oh, yeah. But in terms of my dealings with other people,
Right? Go
I'm a
ahead.
little uncertain as to what to actually do or say.
Forgiveness. You must apply forgiveness. And after you apply forgiveness, you will be in the right mind. Then you will know what to do and say. Okay? If you don't do forgiveness, you're going to be speaking from the ego, and you're always going to be wrong. Okay? When you sit in a situation, no matter what it is, you apply forgiveness first. Forgiveness takes you into your right mind, and now no matter what you say and do, will be right.
So you just sail off into the situation and just deal with
You do
whatever.
forgiveness.
Sorry?
You do forgiveness.
Yeah.
You don't sail off anywhere. You do forgiveness, whether it's complete forgiveness, whether it's ATF, or whether it's simple forgiveness. You do your forgiveness. That's what the whole lesson's about. It's not about who's right and wrong.
No.
Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Well, when you do forgiveness, you're going to be happy. When you don't do forgiveness, you might be right, but you're going to be very unhappy. Okay? Number 5, okay, is judgment. All right? There's no right and wrong in judging or not judging. There is only now or later. It is not wrong to judge. What you're really saying is you're not ready to wake it up now, but you will later. Right? Being judgmental says I will waken up later. Why?
You're not ready to let it go.
No. Being judgmental will tell you one thing and one thing only. What is it saying to you?
There you go. There you go, right, Mike?
You stepped outside yourself.
Yes. And you're not going to awaken stepped outside yourself. Because once you seek for anything outside yourself, you step outside yourself, now you're in the land of judgment. Now you're going to be judgmental. Now you're going to judge and be judged. This is the land that we're in. You can't waken up in the land of judgment. You can only waken up in the center of yourself. That's your truth. This is the choices that we have. We can step outside ourselves into our separated self. Okay? We're choosing the ego. You can't choose the ego and waken up, because one says that the other doesn't exist. So you must step back inside yourself. Okay? And now you will waken up because you're without judgment. Alright? When you're seeking for love outside yourself, Okay, you step outside yourself. And what does the Course say that love is?
Forgive. Well, the dominion of heaven is within.
Never heard you say you're sorry.
Never hope to say
Never having to say sorry.
I like it, Michael. I like it, Michael. Okay. In case anybody didn't hear that, Michael says that love is having never to say you're sorry.
sorry.
What Jesus says in the Course is love is the absence of judgment. So that means, okay, you can't experience love and judgment at the same time. You can't seek for love outside yourself, okay, and be love at the same time. Because when you seek for anything outside yourself, you step outside yourself. Okay, love is the absence of judgment. That means you're without judgment. And the only time that you're without judgment is when you're seeking for nothing outside yourself. So that brings us to number 6, which is love. Okay? Love is who you are. Right. There is no right in wrong in seeking for love outside yourself. There is only now or later. It is not wrong to seek outside yourself. Let's get that right. It's not wrong. Okay. What you're saying is, when I seek outside myself, I want to waken up later. Okay? I don't want to waken up now. But if you want to experience the bliss of love, then you must step back inside yourself. Now, this is not about ending relationships. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not telling your partner, go away now, I want to seek inside myself. This is about a state of mind. You can be with wherever you want to be, but it's a state of mind in yourself where you know the truth. You can make someone feel special. And of course, you know, there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're aware that you're making this person feel special, that we're all special. Okay? So what this is really saying is, okay, that if you're in a relationship and you want to turn this special relationship into a holy relationship that's based on love, what you do here is critical. Instead of telling the person, you know, I don't want to be in a relationship with you, this is what you do. You look at your demands, you look at your expectations, you look at your needs and your desires, and now you look and say, I'm willing to let these go. Because love, true love, is unconditional. The ego's love is conditional. Okay? You can't have conditions in true love. It's either one or the other. As long, say I have an expectation of you, all right? The moment I have an expectation of anybody, I step outside myself. The moment I have a demand of anybody, which is outside, I step outside. The moment I have any needs or desires, I step outside myself. Okay? So these are the attachments. Demands, expectations, needs, and desires are all attachments. I'm stepping outside myself. I can be in a relationship with you unconditionally, with no demands, no expectations, no needs, and no desires, and I can feel the bliss and the love of heaven inside me at the same time. Okay? I'm not seeking anything outside myself. So this is how you can have an unbelievable relationship with someone and still keep your center. It's not about not having relationships outside yourself. In fact, it's the opposite. Have relationships outside yourself, but keep yourself in your center. Okay? You're either in an unconditional relationship or a conditional relationship. Unconditional relationships are love, true love. Conditional relationships are the absence of love. Okay? 7. Giving. Okay? If you want to waken up, there is no right and wrong in conditional giving. You can see that love and giving are nearly identical. When we give things to people, we give them with conditions. I'll give this to you, but I'm expecting something in return. You know, I need this, so I'm going to give this to you because I know when I need it, you're going to return it to me. So all our giving is conditional. So there's no right or wrong in conditional giving. There's only now or later. It is not wrong to give conditionally. What you're really saying is that you're not ready to waken up now. If you want to waken up now, then everything that you give must be unconditional. Because again, why? If I give something conditionally, I'm stepping outside myself. I'm seeking for something from you because I'm putting on a condition what I give to you. Remember, you can't waken up outside yourself. So what you're asked to do here is look at all the things that you give in your life, because each of these is taking you outside yourself. The whole point of this is to you, what Jesus calls in the Course, the inner altar. Okay? That's the inner altar, your inner altar. Okay? That's where you become one with God, become one with heaven, become one with Christ, become one with your true self. All of these basically are keeping you in your center. These are all what's going to awaken you and keep you awakened. So when you do waken up, okay, these basically are all tools that keep you awakened. Okay? This is how you keep it. If you start to break any of these, this is why you lose it. And I think you were saying, Michael, people are having experiences, but they lose it. This is why if you're having experiences of oneness, of the bliss, and you lose it, this is why. Look at each one of these. This is why you're losing those experiences, because these are either keeping you inside or taking you outside. Okay? So giving must be unconditional, because if you give conditionally, it's taking you outside yourself. The next one, it. Acceptance. Okay? There is no right and wrong in accepting or not accepting. There is only now or later. It is not wrong to not accept some people just the way they are. What you're really saying is that you're not ready to wake up now, but you will later. When I'm in full acceptance, I am saying I want to wake it up now. And another way to say this is what you refuse to accept or what you resist will persist. So there's certain things and certain people that we see and we say, I cannot accept that. What is wrong with that? What do we really do?
Keeping a piece of our shadow out.
Exactly. We're seeing our shadow out there, and we're not taking responsibility for it. We're not being honest with it. We're not applying forgiveness with it. See all of these? Okay, you can start to tick off the boxes. We must own our shadow completely for us to waken up. Okay? When I refused to accept some things, I come outside myself because I'm seeking now to see the guilt in someone else. You know the way we step outside of ourselves to seek for love from people? We also step outside of ourselves to see the guilt in some people. Okay? No matter what I see out there in the story of right and wrong, if I see anything wrong, I take full responsibility for it. I am honest with it. I apply forgiveness with it. Okay? And I accept it as a part of me. Even though it might be a part of me that's illusion, it might be my self-hate. The way that I undo it is I accept it. That it's my projection. And when I bring it back inside, okay, I bring it inside to the light, to the love, and it's dissolved inside me. Because everything that's not true, when I bring it back inside myself, will dissolve. That's crucial to understand. That's the way we get rid of it. The ego says to get rid of it, we see it in other people, and we blame them for it. But Jesus is saying the way to get rid of this is bring it inside and let the light of truth dissolve it. Does this make sense?
Can I just ask something? You know that saying in the course, in my defenselessness lies my safety? Is it like if somebody is, say, I perceive in my head that someone's attacking
Mm-hmm.
and I don't react? You know, something's coming at you
Yeah,
and I stay centered
yeah.
and don't react. Will that happen what you just described, where love or truth will dissolve?
I will, of course. But you also have to ask, when you feel it being attacked, who's being attacked?
Okay, that's the bit I missed.
Yeah. You
Okay.
see, you always ask yourself that question. When you have any sense that you're being attacked, ask yourself this question. Who is being attacked? Because it's only the ego will have the sense of being attacked, because it's only the ego who can attack. Okay?
Michael, can I ask, in terms of acceptance, not accepting something in yourself, so let's say you want to stop drinking,
Right.
and you find that now unacceptable, and it's through finding it unacceptable that you're attempting to change. How do you apply that to something you don't want or like about yourself? Not that you've projected it out, you've
Right.
projected it onto yourself.
What's the intention behind the not drinking?
You want to be healthy.
Right. So does good health come from drinking or not drinking? What I'm trying to do here is let's look at the truth.
Okay.
Because it's the truth in this is going to set you free. Like I did, you know, being a vegetarian or being a meat eater, which of them is healthy? Neither. Someone who's applying forgiveness and someone who's not applying forgiveness, which of them is healthy? Of course. You can have someone who's eating the most healthiest food in this world. Okay? Vegetarian, raw, you want to call it. And if they're not applying forgiveness, it don't matter. Health is equal to forgiveness. Unhealth equals to non-forgiveness. You can't, it's unhealthy to be closed-minded. It's unhealthy not to forgive. It's unhealthy to be dishonest. It's unhealthy not to take responsibility. It's unhealthy to judge. If this is what you think health is. The healthiest thing that you can do in this world is to apply forgiveness. Now, going back to your point, I know a few people, and when we started doing the course, and they like their glass of wine. Okay, and they said, I'm not giving up my wine. I said, don't worry about the wine. You don't have to give it up. So after 2 years, they don't drink anymore. They don't have no need for it anymore. Because they've been applying forgiveness, their mind has been healed. So when you're stopping drinking, what you're really saying is, right, that you're projecting your shadow onto the drink, and you're saying, right, the cause of my, say state of mind or whatever, or the state of my problems is coming from my drink. It's not true. The unhealthy state of mind is coming from the refusal to apply forgiveness. Does that make sense? Okay. So you can accept or not accept drink or alcohol or whatever. It's a part of the story. It's not either good or bad. Do you know what I mean? What is good or bad at the end of the day is what you're saying is, do I want to wake up now or later? See, what I'm trying to do here is taking the right and the wrong out of the equation. Because if you're going into the story, you're going into right and wrong, then you're getting lost in the drama of what's right and what's wrong. So what I want you to look at people in the world and say, right, they're not ready to wake up now. Instead of condemning the person as being bad or being wrong or something, you just say, well, that person's not ready to wake up now. So now you're not projecting your guilt onto anybody. You're not seeing right and wrong. Does that make sense? Okay. So the next one, number 9, okay, is, you were just saying, defenselessness. Okay? There is no right and wrong in being defensive. There is only now or later. It is not wrong to be defensive. What you're really saying is that you are not ready to waken up now, but you will later. Being defensive says, I will waken up later. So what you have to ask yourself is this: what am I defending? When I am defensive, who am I defending? My ego. Only the ego needs defending. Being an illusion, being a lie, it must build defenses to keep the lie in place. So the next time is this rank, is when I'm outside myself, okay, here, being defensive, I'm going to be defensive automatically. So every time that you're being defensive, it should tell you one thing only. I'm outside myself. Because I'm defending my ego. And as long as I'm outside myself, I'm not going to be waking up. Okay? So, the next time you find yourself being hurt, or your reputation, or your persona, whatever you want to call them, someone seems to be attacking them, you can say, hold on. I am outside my center. And I can go back inside. Because when I'm inside my center, I don't need to defend myself. Because truth needs no defenses. Only the ego needs defending. So every time that you defend yourself or you're being defensive, you can always say this, I'm not ready to waken up now, I'll waken up later. You can stay being defensive for as long as you want. It's not right or wrong. But just go back, when is it you want to waken up? Do I want to waken up today or later? So, number 10. Justice. Okay? There is no right and wrong in seeking for justice. There is only now or later. It is not wrong to seek for justice. What you're really saying is that you're not ready to waken up now, but you will later. Seeking for justice says, I want to waken up later. If you seek for punishment of another, you but condemn yourself. So what this is really saying is, every time that you look and you seek for the punishment of someone, all right, that you look and you condemn someone, when you look and you don't forgive someone, you're saying that I'm serving justice. I'm going to punish you. And when you punish another, you're always punishing yourself. Because you can only punish yourself. Okay? So when I'm outside my center, all right, I'm always going to seek for justice. And the way the ego seeks for justice is by seeing the guilt in someone else and condemning that person for it. Okay? And the famous way that people do in A Course in Miracles do this is to say, that person's ego. Okay? That person's ego. What's wrong with that?
There's only one ego.
There's only one ego. And we're trying to get project our ego onto other people and blame them for it. It was their ego. It was their ego made them do that. That person basically is so attached to their ego. Oh, you should see the size of the ego in that person, was a famous one. I get emails from people, and this is the famous line. You know, if my friend could only drop their ego, we would have a great life. And as their ego is destroying our relationship. So you see what we're all trying to do here? We're always trying to see the ego in other people and try to fix them first. Okay? We're trying to judge them first. What we're really doing is we're seeking for justice. We're really saying it's their problem. Okay? There's only one ego. And if you spot it, you've got it. Okay? Number 11. Patience. Okay? There's no right and wrong being impatient. There is only now or later. It is not wrong to be impatient. What you're really saying is that you're not really ready to waken up now. Being impatient says, I will waken up later. Why? Because I can only, every time, and this is without exceptions, every time that you're impatient, what is it telling you?
You're seeking inside yourself. You want to
You
be
are
different.
outside yourself.
Yeah.
Because outside yourself is nothing but the past and the future. Okay? We're not forgiving ourselves for the past, and we're fearful of the future. Okay? But Jesus says, okay, you can only be impatient if you're unsure of the outcome. When I'm outside myself, I'm in doubts with everything. Because everything outside myself is unsure. I don't know if it's right, I don't know if it's wrong. I don't know who's guilty, I don't know who's innocent. You're guessing all the time. I don't know which voice I'm listening to. Because remember, the voice of the ego in the wrong mind, and the voice in the ego right mind. Okay, the ego's very clever and cunning, as Jesus says. But when I am in my center, Eckhart Tolle calls it the now. I have all the patience and all the time in the world. When I'm outside myself, I have no time. I am so busy. I haven't time to talk to you. Do you know? I'm so wrapped up in myself and my busy day in the world and everything else. There is no time outside yourself, because the ego will fill your day full of nonsensical things to do. Okay? When you're in your center, you have all the time in the world. So being impatient, all of these will tell you. Okay? If you're being impatient, and you're impatient all of the time, it means you're outside your center. You're in the world, and you're judging, and you're being judgmental or being non-judgmental. Either doesn't matter. And the last and the final one basically takes us to time. Okay? There's only time and timelessness. Okay? There's only, in the ego's world, there's only past and future. Being present, okay? In the now, in heaven, is timeless. Okay? To be mindful is to be present in awareness at all times. And this is the power of now. Okay? When you become fully awakened, you will never leave this state of mind. It's the mind of timelessness. Okay? So, that is everything that you need to waken up. Those are all the boxes that you need to take. You need to master each and every one of these if you want to waken up. Because each of these, by you not doing them, is keeping you asleep. So you can do each of these today, or you can do each of these tomorrow. This is why the course is a process. Okay? There's not one here that anybody in this room can't do. Is that true? Is there anything here that's unachievable? Do you think? Is there anything here so complicated that you say, I can't do that? Simple, isn't it?
But not easy.
It's not easy, but it's simple.
So if you just send, there's nothing outside, there's nothing out there, it's just here.
It's about letting go. Wakening up is letting go. Okay? It's a different way of seeing. Okay? The more that I let go, okay? When I let go of my closed mind, I'm going to become more open-minded. When I let go of my projections and do forgiveness, I'm going to waken up. When I become more honest with what I see and what I feel, okay, I'm going to waken up. When I take full responsibility for everything in my life and every emotion I feel, I'm going to waken up. When I step outside of a judgment and become without judgment, I'm going to waken up. When I love unconditionally, I'm going to waken up. When I give unconditionally, I'm going to waken up. When I accept everybody as they are, I'm going to waken up. When I become defenseless and stop defending my reputation, my persona, my ego, I will waken up. When I seek for justice in no one outside myself, when I see the innocence in everyone, I'm going to waken up. When I learn patience, I'm going to waken up. And when I be present in the now, seeking for nothing outside myself, I'm going to waken up. So tell me, there's not one here that you can say, I'm going to have trouble with. Is there? Anybody? Okay, thank you.